I'm Jim. I'm a writer based in Derby now, but very much mostly have been in Nottingham for a lot of the past years. Writer, poet, educator, human, lover of jalapeno and cheese, Max Crisps. And yeah, I recently applied for a DYCP. The Developing Your Own Creative Practice Fund is essentially an amount you can request up to 12 grand, I do believe, to basically utilize in any way that works for you, that supports you to develop your own creative practice. So, of course, the key there is your own creative practice. So, it's very much a grant for you as an individual artist. Now, that can cover anything from, obviously, we're focusing here on writing, but it can go beyond that. Musicians, theatre makers, illustrators. You might want to apply if you're already writing to give yourself time, headspace, and obviously financial backing to devote time to simply write whatever it might be you're going to work on. Within that, though, you want to think about giving yourself a chance to have development in the form of being mentored, going on a retreat that will give you experience or develop your craft in new ways. It's, if you're a writer, I think you might want to apply because you have an idea for a project, but maybe you've just not had the time, you've not had the guidance, or you've also just not really known how to take the risk of committing to it, right? And seeing the development and the process of it. You can get time. Let's not negotiate the fact that time is big. So I've been with this grant able to now, for the next 7 months, devote 2 full days to writing, knowing that the grant is there to cover my day rate to do that. I'm not losing out financially. So time and headspace is a big one. I think also you can get development opportunities that you never thought you'd be able to access. You can use this grant to maybe travel to a retreat to work with writers that you know and love and care about already. If they're willing to get involved, they can mentor you on a one-to-one basis. You can travel and maybe, you don't have to stay within a certain area. You can travel to different places to do research for a book or a project you're working on in your writing. You should apply if you think the timing is right. And by that, I mean you are willing to devote at least, say, 6 months to a year even. I mean, you can curate the time yourself to one thing, I would say. And that can be multi-layered, but the core thing is you will be developing towards this outcome, even if the finished product is completely different and not finished, but you've got to a learning point by that journey ending that you didn't think you would. You want to commit to the thing. You want to know you actually believe in it enough. This is not just about whacking some cash and then writing every day randomly. They really want you to kind of believe in what it is you're trying to do, and also to consider the outcome of that for beyond that period, right? I was very open that I think by doing this, it will set me up for a long-term kind of way of what I can bring into my teaching practice, what I can kind of believe in myself that I'm capable of as a writer, that will be lasting, right? It will go beyond the period of time I'm doing it. As a poet who has written fragments of poems and has kind of thought traditionally I should be putting a collection out, I applied because I wanted to push myself, to give myself permission to try writing into the longer form, having not had as much mentorship or teaching around that, right? It's a new field to me, other than being a passionate reader of the longer form as well as poems. So my project, or my kind of approach, was I will by this date have written this number of words for this particular book, even though I might not know exactly how it's going to start and finish. Just all of that will be figured out along the way. The support you get, I mean, it's really interesting because the Arts Council essentially, and being really again upfront as I always am, they give you the money, and they want you to stick to what you said you will do, and they will want a final report of the whole process, how it all went. Alongside that, though, really you want the support to be based on what you put in the application, what you're looking to get support in. And I pretty much told you that mine is the mentorship. All I wanted was a core writer I believed in and trusted. Now, I'll be honest, this was a big, huge success for me. The writer I had in mind, I thought in my head, there's no guarantee that they will want to do this because they're an extremely established writer. They don't know my work. And I have to be honest, I was just really upfront with myself in the application. I had some backup options, which you should do as well. The trick, if I'm being honest, really is to plan in advance, obviously, and pre-arrange with a mentor of your choice. This is what I'm aiming to apply for. I haven't got it yet, but would you be happy to do 3 sessions with me mentoring wise over the course of the next 6 months? What are your rates, so I can put them in the budget for the grant that I'm applying for? And then you'll know, and it will look stronger on your application if you've put in exactly what you're going to do, because the Arts Council will know you're taking it seriously and have got a plan going on. Don't rush this, because there's nothing worse than rushing it and then instantly the Arts Council team that look at it will think this has been done in a day, and then you've got to wait for the next batch, which is quite a way off. So first of all, don't rush it. If you think you're ready, go for it, yeah, but just don't rush it. Don't see this and be like, I'm going to blast an all-nighter, knock a few Red Bulls, and don't do it. Like, you know, you might really regret that. Again, only if you rush it. I don't mean don't apply if you're ready and set and good to go, but just don't put something out there in the application side that you look back on and think, I just needed a few more weeks on that and it could have been so much better. That's my point with that. So don't rush it. Timing is everything. Think of the exact right time. Look ahead at a 6-month period to a year. Think to yourself, what other commitments have I got in my practice already? You know, how will that impact me in a really positive way, but what change will I need to make sure I stick to these days of work